Hi, Chef Ryan Phillips here. There's a lot of weddings this time of year in Korea, and there's one dish that symbolizes a long and happy marriage more than all the others. It's a simple noodle dish with a lot of love. That is Janchi Guksu. Culinary students all around the world in their first semester, they learn the importance of stocks for a reason. And Dashima Yuksu, or our stock that we're using today, uses these important ingredients right here. This broth is the base for hundreds of Korean ingredients. And you could skip maybe a few of these, but you really have to have the radish, the anchovies, and the kelp. I'm gonna start by putting 5 of these dried anchovies in, and I've just removed the heads and the guts. About 20 grams of kelp, half of an onion, some dried shiitake mushrooms, I've got about 5 here, and about 6 or 7 garlic cloves. Can't miss out on this Korean radish. Now, if you can't find these, I suppose a daikon would work for you. But there's something special, this depth, the healthiness of this. For Dashima Yuksu, it's very important. Just gonna take a little bit. We only need about 200 grams of this. And large pieces are just fine. That should be about 200 grams. Go. Now, I've got a special trick for you that I learned from a very talented Korean chef friend. This is a Korean leek, or daepa, and I hope you can find these with the roots on. Because when you make stock and you use that root, you get a much better flavor than not having it. Trust me on this one. So I'm just gonna take these roots off. I've washed them really well. But if you take that little time for this little trick, it'll pay off in the end. Then the rest of this, we're just gonna rough cut it because it's just for stock, like so. We'll get the daepa in here and our water. It's about 1 liter. All right, let's cover this. Get our heat on high. We're gonna bring this up to a boil, and once it's boiling, we'll reduce it down to a simmer and let it go for at least about 20 minutes. While our broth is simmering for about 20 minutes, we're gonna prepare some of our toppings for our wedding banquet soup. And we're gonna start here with this Korean zucchini, or ehobak. We need about half of this to do 2 or 3 portions. Korean zucchini, similar to regular zucchini, it cooks really fast and it gets tender. We don't want this to fall apart. So we're gonna cut these into little matchsticks and they'll cook super fast. Let's get a high flame pan here. Get that warm. Once it's hot, we'll get a little cooking oil in there. So this is really quick, just 30 seconds to 1 minute tops. Nice bright green color is gonna come out, and done. Let's let these cool off to use later. Next topping is we've got 1 beaten egg here. So we want this super thin. Turn the heat off as soon as you get it like this. Just wait for a second for it to finish cooking. And then just roll it right up. So we've got this lovely thin omelet, and we're just gonna cut this super thin and have these little ribbons. Now, the Ehobak or zucchini is soft and the egg is soft, so let's get some textural contrast with a little bit of kimchi. But we want to cut it down a little bit. Right there. We just need about 3 tablespoons or so of this chopped kimchi. And lastly, we want a few sheets of laver or kim just cut up fine. Now you may have noticed that we haven't used any salt in prepping anything yet today, and that's because we've got this great sauce that I'm gonna show you. So, got a small bowl. We're gonna start with 1 clove of minced garlic, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, and then just a teaspoon of toasted sesame oil, a teaspoon of red chili flakes, and about 1 scallion chopped up. And lastly, just a few toasted sesame seeds. All right, got this mixed up well. Oh, plenty salty, as it should be. I love that this one, so many sauces in Korea have a bit of sugar in them, and this one has none. You're gonna love this. All right, it's time to focus on our noodles here. And we've got this lovely, lovely Somyeon. These are thin wheat noodles that have a lovely chewy texture. Now, if you can't find these, you at least want to have a nice thin wheat noodle. The reason this has a tradition for wedding banquet food is the idea that the long noodle symbolizes a long, healthy, and happy life. So you never want to cut these or break them in half before you cook them. Got our water to a rolling boil. Let's get these in here. They cook in just 2 to 3 minutes. All right, so it's traditional in Korea. When the bubbles come up, just add a little bit of cold water and they fall back down. All right, and just 2 or 3 minutes and these are ready to come out. Let's take these over to the sink and cool them down quickly. All right, we'll let these drain for just a little bit. One of the nice things about this dish, especially when it comes to banquets or serving a lot of people, is that you cook these in advance, have them chilled down to the side, and when people are ready to eat, you've got your broth hot, you've got your noodles cold, you put it all together, it's a great soup. Okay, everything else is ready, and now I believe the broth is good to go. Let's get this over here. This is a very important broth for so many dishes in Korea, and it's kind of the heart of this dish. All right, we're just about done here. Time for plating. We've got our noodles first. Oh, beautiful, springy Somyeon. I'm gonna take about half of this for 1 portion, or maybe a little less than half. Okay, let's get our toppings on here. We've got 2 spoons worth of our zucchini, and same amount of the egg, about 1.5 spoons of our chopped kimchi, and about half of our chopped up laver or kin. Then we go to our broth. We're gonna go with about 2 cups of our broth in here. And lastly, our sauce. There you go, Janchi Guksu. All right, you've got to have a spoon and chopsticks for this. Give it a great mix here. And look for these long noodles to symbolize a long, happy, and healthy marriage. Oh, beautiful. Perfect salinity. We did not need to use salt anywhere here. It's just that sauce we made up that you could use in so many different ways. Oh, we've got the textural contrast with the kimchi, gives a little bit of crunch, but the ahobak is nice and tender, the egg's tender. Janchi Guksu, good stuff.